live and on your side. You're watching WBRC Fox 6 News at noon.
Good Tuesday afternoon to you. I'm Mickey Ferguson.
And I'm Kelsey Davis. Thanks so much for joining us on this rainy, soggy day.
And that's exactly what it is. That's why we go immediately over to Jill in just a second. We've got some standing water apparently right there, Kelsey.
Okay. That's over at on the campus of University of Alabama. Emily Claire shared this picture. It's looking at Colonial Drive, again, over there in Tuscaloosa, some standing water. In fact, that rain kind of threw me off earlier today. I thought people were throwing buckets of water at the windows when I was walking by. So I'm sure people who are out driving are feeling it even more in the cars out there on the roadways.
Is that our biggest problem with this system, Jill?
Yeah, I think you kind of mentioned that this morning. We really weren't concerned about a severe threat. It was very minimal. It was really the heavy downpour, the blinding winds, blinding rain. Now, as we take a look at First Alert Doppler, the heaviest rain is starting to move on out. So that's moving into Georgia. Still pretty heavy over Heflin. First Alert travelers between Anniston and Atlanta for that heavy rain. Then you get the lighter stuff as we zoom into Alabaster, Birmingham. But just back to our west, we have a little bit more rain to swing on through. But we are seeing that back edge. It's already made its way through the Hamilton area into Lamar. So we will eventually see the conditions that Hamilton is seeing area-wide. A little breezy, mostly cloudy. Temperatures starting to back off into the mid and upper 50s right now. And again, the warmest air down to the south and east. So cooler air will be building on in. And again, that rain is moving on out. That back edge is going to be in Birmingham by 2 o'clock. So we'll time out the exit and talk more about our future rain chances in 15 minutes.
Well, new at noon, business is back to normal over at the BJCC in Birmingham. You may have noticed all the fire trucks and firefighters all around this building about 30 minutes ago. Well, a water pump system for the gardens around the Civic Center, they caught fire. It was put out quickly, no injuries, no evacuations. Again, all back to normal over at the BJCC. Well, we've mentioned to you this before, the idea of the Oakland Raiders NFL football team playing right here in Birmingham. We know now that our city officials are working with officials in other cities to get the silver and black here to the Magic City.
Now, it'd be a temporary thing for their use of Legion Field. The franchise is moving to Las Vegas, but the stadium there, it isn't ready yet. So a deal to play in the 49ers stadium, they were trying to do that, but that fell through. So now the cities of Tucson and Birmingham are working together, and they're pitching a proposal for the Raiders to use facilities in both cities. Birmingham City Council President Pro Tem William Parker talked on Good Day Alabama about teaming up.
We think this will strengthen our position to be a part of a collaborative effort with the city of Tucson. And ideal is just to split the home games plus the preseason games. And we think it'll be an attractive proposal for the Raider organization and also for the NFL commissioner, Roger Goodell.
Well, that'd be exciting for us, but today we're looking into whether this actually has a chance of happening and what improvements or changes will be needed to house two NFL teams. We're going to bring you our answer later on in the newscast. But the team currently using Legion Field is about to start practice for the day. The head coach of the new Birmingham Iron football team will be talking with the media following the team's afternoon practice. We're going to ask Coach Tim Lewis what he felt about the Irons' major win on Sunday and what he's expecting for this Saturday's game against Salt Lake City.
New at noon, Mercedes-Benz International and Lawson State Community College are now partnering. Students can get certified to learn and work at the Mercedes plant through Lawson's automotive program. Complete the program and you'll get a full-time, or you could, I should say, get a full-time job in production at the plant. The first class will have about 30 students. Mercedes has quite the incentive to get you to apply.
The first semester, we would cover 65% of the students' tuition for the first semester, and then the second and third semester, depending on the GPA, could be up to 100% covered by MBUSI. And also the times that the students are working at the plant, they will also be paid for the time they work.
And the company really wants to make sure this program is a hands-on situation. They've already donated a new C-Class and a brand new GLE to that program. More job news is work is underway for the new Hyundai engine plant in Montgomery. Hyundai is investigating almost $400 million on project expansion. The plant will be able to support more than 700,000 engines per year. This expansion would be complete, or should be complete, by May. Good news for Shelby County business owners this afternoon.
Yeah, a study conducted at the University of Montevallo's College of Business shows a positive outlook for Shelby County businesses in 2019. The study surveyed about 200 business owners to get their outlook on business this year.
The overwhelming majority still felt as if the economy would be strong here in Shelby County. They also felt as if revenues would be up. They thought that expenses would be slightly up as well. And then again, overall growth would be a positive for their businesses throughout Shelby County.
Well, the Shelby County Chamber of Commerce uses this information, they say, to figure out how they can best help businesses grow in the next year. The biggest challenge several business owners say they are faced with is finding qualified employees, which is something we hear pretty much across the state.
We have some breaking news this afternoon. The accused drug lord, that's El Chapo, has been convicted. Prosecutors say the Mexican drug kingpin's cartel amassed billions of dollars, importing tons of cocaine, heroin, and marijuana into the United States. The verdict came on day 6 of deliberations. El Chapo's sentencing is in June. He could be spending the rest of his life behind bars in prison.
Probably a shocking thing in this one Birmingham neighborhood, but we're told the Waterworks dump truck flipped over at 14th Street and 14th Terrace North. This was just a few hours ago. This is while the workers were working in that area. A Birmingham a police officer told us they believe mud got the truck off balance, but fortunately, no injuries reported.
A man was shot in the neck in the southwestern part of Birmingham. Police say the man's injuries are not life-threatening, but they are now, of course, investigating. That shooting happened on the 24th Street Southwest. Police say the victim went to a home on 22nd Street Southwest and then went to the hospital. So far, there's no word on any suspects in this case.
Today, we could hear if any charges will be filed against a man being questioned about a shooting and robbery in a Birmingham cell phone store. 2 women were shot during the Metro PCS robbery. This was on Green Springs Avenue. Officers say the robber demanded money and shot an employee, then chased another employee who was trying to run away, then he shot her. Police say he then took some cash and ran out of the back of the store. He was captured off I-65 late yesterday afternoon.
You know, any store can be a target. We want everybody to be vigilant, be aware of your surroundings and what's going on in and around the particular businesses. We think this suspect may have just chose this store just out of, for whatever particular reason.
Well, both victims are being treated at a hospital, one with life-threatening injuries. Right now, the sheriff's office in Limestone County is searching for an escaped inmate. They say Joseph Lee Davis walked off the job site on Highway 127. At the time, he was wearing a gray Reebok hoodie, jeans, a black hat with black tennis shoes. Searchers are using tracking dogs and a helicopter to look for him.
New at noon, Governor Kay Ivey just announced the state will seek bids to build 3 new regional mega prisons. Current prisons are overcrowded and do not provide adequate mental health care. The governor says new prisons will help Alabama meet staffing levels and lower recidivism rates. That's when people return to prison after they've served their time. Ivey says all options are on the table on how to pay for this new facility. That could include the state hiring a contractor to lease the prisons to the state without lawmaker approval, or state issuing a bond, which leads to lawmakers for approval from lawmakers. The bidders will create plans on where to put the prisons and what the designs will look like. Back here in Jefferson County, the jail in Bessemer is set to close. Now, the facility will close next week and will reopen in about 6 months. This is so repairs and renovations can be made, so this is a temporary closure. In the meantime, inmates will be housed in Birmingham's jail. Over in Bessemer, though, we're told there will be modified operations for court cases.
Changes in turn lanes in Tuscaloosa County could relieve some traffic congestion there. The Tuscaloosa County Road Commission requested turn lanes to return along Highway 69 South. They were there before, but AlDOT took them away to improve traffic flow ahead of a major road project later this year. Well, Tuscaloosa County saved a lot of money on a road project in Bear Creek Cutoff Road last year, and those savings will now go to re-adding turn lanes at some of the busiest intersections at Highway 69 South and Skyland Boulevard.
We've targeted about 10 intersections, all of the school intersections, the major intersections there, to reinstall those turn lanes, which will be a great safety. It'll help move traffic better and it'll make it safer. Well, reinstalling those turn lanes will cost about $1.7 million.
Well, get ready for some local calls from a brand new area code. Starting April 13th, the new 659 area code will serve the same geographic area as 205.
That's right. Now, none of your numbers will be changing, but get this, guys, you will have to dial area codes for all local calls. New telephone lines will start getting the 659 area code in November. In SEC football news, Bama and Auburn picked up some victories in football without having to play a game at all. Yeah. And it's all because Ole Miss had to vacate several wins as the final part of their sanctions from the NCAA.
The Rebels will vacate 33 wins from 2010 until 2014. And this includes the Rebels' win over Alabama in 2014 and a 2012 victory of Auburn. The Rebs were already hit with a 2-year bowl ban, which they served the past 2 seasons. Hey, a new Netflix movie is going to be filmed in Birmingham. Borderline Films and 9 Story is expected to start shooting The Devil All the Time. This is going to start shooting this next week. Now, this is a period film starring Tom Holland and Chris Evans. You might know those two as Spider-Man and Captain America in the Avengers. Well, the film is expected to premiere on Netflix in 2020.
The Birmingham Home Show can inspire you to make some changes to your home inside and out. And they could be pretty gorgeous. We have an exhibitor who's going to be teaching us some tricks to her trade coming up in just a few minutes.
And the number of flu cases in local hospitals have definitely spiked. Why hospitals want you to know that before you go there. You're watching WBRC, Fox 6 News on your side.
We've told you about major hospitals in West Alabama that have seen a scary and spiking number of flu-like illnesses.
Today, Ugochi Aloka explains why hospitals want you to know about all this before you go there.
DCH hospitals in the Northport and Tuscaloosa area are hoping that them being transparent about the number of flu-like cases they're seeing will send a message that if you haven't gotten vaccinated yet, you need to. A hospital spokesperson says 253 out of the 893 patients tested positive for the flu last week, which is 28%, showing a big spike from the week before, more than a 60% increase of flu cases in a span of a week. As of yesterday, 9 patients are currently battling the flu at DCH hospitals. A hospital spokesperson says these numbers don't account for all flu cases in Tuscaloosa County, but they do give us an idea of what other medical practices are also seeing. And DCH hospitals say although that they are trending down compared to this time last year in terms of flu cases, they are still urging folks who do have flu-like symptoms to stay far away from hospital ERs. Reporting in Tuscaloosa, Hugo Chialoca, WBRC, Fox 6 News, on your side.
And we're only into the second month of 2019, but so far over 100 cases of the measles have been reported in the country, most of those in the Northwest, where Washington state health officials confirmed 58 cases linked to an outbreak that happened last month. 4 of the cases were in Oregon. The Centers for Disease Control linked the Washington state outbreak to a strain from Eastern Europe after travelers returned from the Ukraine with illnesses. But in the past month, patients in 10 states were diagnosed with the measles.
And we go from the flu to the measles and now tuberculosis. The Mississippi Department of Health confirms a case of tuberculosis in a Jackson public school student. Parents, as you can imagine, lined up to check their children out of school over at Provine High School. The
Department of Health says they will be testing 200 students and the faculty there for the infection over the next couple of weeks. They also will notify people soon if they should be tested. Parents told our sister station they want the whole school tested just to be safe. But the Department of Health says they're only focusing on people who may have been in contact with the infected student.
We only test people who would have shared significant airspace. And so anyone who would have been in contact with the individual, like in a classroom or a school bus or something like that, that would be the people at risk. Other people who are just in the general area are not considered at risk because really you have to be in close proximity to somebody or you're not considered at risk.
Now, tuberculosis is spread when a person inhales airborne germs over an extended period of time or if someone's been in direct contact with someone who has the disease.
I'd want my child tested.
Sure thing.
Jill?
But we are still tracking the rain. The heaviest, though, is moving on out, but still have another batch to go on through. We'll let you know when it will come to an end after the break. Welcome back, everyone. We're coming up on 12:20. We've been tracking that heavy rain building eastward with time today. The heaviest is moving on out. One last batch to move on in. And look what's heading our way for tomorrow. Sunshine. So some positive news I will start off this weathercast with. But certainly we are tracking the rain out there. The heaviest, as mentioned, East Alabama still ongoing out towards Heflin. And what we've seen up towards Etowah County, the eastern part, Gadsden through Center. We've had a little reports of some minor flooding. So a flood advisory is in effect. First alert, you could see some ponding and then some minor flooding. Remember to avoid any flooded roadways. Here are some of the rainfall estimates. 2.5 inches or so. So that's in a short period of time, creating some flooding. As we go back towards the west, Birmingham, light rain, heavier rain. First alert for Jasper moving back in. So the last and final batch is starting to swing on through. It has come to an end in Hamilton. You may get a brief shower, but most of this rain is ending for you. Will be ending here very shortly for Fayette. So there is a back edge, and so that means we can time it out as it moves from west to east. So conditions out there have been dreary. It is very wet right now in Tuscaloosa, 61 degrees. The dew point's still up, so humidity is high, west-southwest wind at 11 miles per hour. The warmest air has moved on out. We've already reached our high temperature for the day. We were talking about that yesterday. JP was talking about that as well, and then Mickey mentioned that this morning. And now what we're seeing is slightly cooler temperatures, and then as we get into the overnight hours, that's when the real chilly air starts to build in. So 2 o'clock, most of that rain will be coming to an end. Birmingham, Aniana, Tuscaloosa. As we get into 4 o'clock in the afternoon, rain ending Anniston to Clanton, and then most of it should be out of here by 5 o'clock. And notice we'll see some sunshine to end the day and 40s for Hamilton. So that cooler air building in, but at least we'll have clearing skies leading to sunshine for tomorrow. We will be starting off with some chilly temperatures though, with readings in the lower to middle 30s. Maybe a little frosty out there. Looking ahead to tomorrow afternoon, sunshine, that is a plus, enjoy it, with 50s for highs, pretty close to normal. Looking ahead to Valentine's Day, I did tweak this forecast a little bit. Made it a little sunnier, all right, 9 o'clock, 38, and keeping a few clouds in there at noon, mainly dry. A small rain chance can't be ruled out, but mainly dry if you're going out for dinner. Next big thing is going to be the fact that our rain chances will climb back up again. 30% coverage Friday, greater coverage now as we get into the weekend. So that is some newer information that we will keep you updated here on, also in the First Alert weather app. So again, temperature's not bad as we go through the rest of this week. As we pop out that weekend forecast, highs in the 60s, lows not bad. Again, scattered showers now in the forecast on Saturday. Sunday, widely scattered, kind of backs off a little bit. Then looking ahead towards President's Day, it will be cooler, more rain, unsettled weather going into next week with more opportunities for rain. Don't see any snow in the forecast, just mild temperatures. But we'll show you that future radar for the weekend with that threat for rain in our next half hour.
All right, thanks so much, Jill. Well, whether you need to organize your garden tools, your living room, or your bedroom, decluttering is the fastest and cheapest way to do it. Expert advice on paring down things in your home coming up next. You're watching WBRC Fox 6 News, on your side. Back. Well, Marie Kondo's show Tidying Up on Netflix has inspired people all over the world to stop what they're doing and declutter their homes. Lisa Phillips is our own local organization and decluttering specialist. She'll be at the Birmingham Home Show this weekend, and she's going to give you a sneak peek of things you can do to get your homes organized if you don't get a chance to go see her, or before you get to see her this weekend.
Right.
So we were just talking in the commercial break about things or ways to get your home best organized. You said the key is knowing your own personality.
Knowing your own personality. You know, there's no wrong or right way. It's how do you think? And so many times we do see the shows on TV and they're great, but that may work because of that's how that person's brain works. So we really have to figure it out. What is your biggest pain? And then how can we develop systems and habits that's going to help maximize how you normally think and how you live your life.
And you brought a hanger out with you.
I did.
I would imagine that has something to do with what you want to talk about, too.
It did. You know, I think the biggest thing is people look at their closets and how do you organize a closet and all of those clothes. And, you know, we could be here forever and talk about that. But there's just a couple of simple tips. You know, the first thing is you can look very easily sometimes and declutter and weed out a lot just by looking. The second thing is try it on. You know, we think it still fits, right? But it's probably too big.
Right. Yes, that is the issue. It's all too big.
It's all too big. So, you know, try it on. That is going to help you make a decision before you have to put any emotion into it at all. And then the third thing is this will make a closet look so much better as if all of your hangers were the same.
Yes, I had to do that. I will admit I've done that before. And people out there, it does at least make things look better. Even if it's not organized, you walk in, you're like, it's not too bad. And it's a mess, really and truly.
Exactly. So sometimes the baby steps can make a real difference because there's nothing more unflattering than to see our clothes on those wire hangers and they're bent over and they're, you know, crooked and it's just not pleasing. So we've got to have the whole thing. So these hangers will give you more room in your closet so that you don't have to get as rid of much.
Right. And I know you can hang all kind of stuff on these little like velvety type hangers. And you can buy them everywhere.
Everywhere. They're called flock hangers. So I really do recommend those.
We only have a few more seconds left over. I know we want to, you have a lot more you can share with people.
Gosh.
The big thing is they can come hang out with you this weekend and learn it all. So tell us where people can find you during the home show this weekend.
I will be on stage at 4 o'clock on Saturday.
Okay. And giving more tips on closet, garden, every way to organize,
every way. They're going to come to me with questions and then we're going to address them from the stage.
All right, guys, so get your questions together. Come hang out with Lisa 4 o'clock on Saturday. Thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.
All right, well, coming up, a handful of people behind bars because of a prostitution bust. But believe it or not, there's a silver lining in this story.
Congressional lawmakers announce a tentative agreement on the federal budget. But will the president sign it? I'm Lauren Blanchard in Washington with the latest coming up.
live and on your side. You're watching WBRC Fox 6 News at noon.
Well, welcome back in this afternoon. It looks like rain is our headline, our top story here today.
Yeah, we're still tracking it, Mickey. Some of the heavier rain still ongoing across far east Alabama, but it's slowly moving on into Georgia, but it has left its mark, so to say, up in Etowah County and Cherokee County because some of that heavier rain has led to some minor flooding. So we have a flood advisory, first alert, folks. Some of the areas up there received over 2.5 inches of rainfall. Avoid any flooded zones. That rain is spreading back into the Birmingham metro. We've seen that heavier rain pass through Jasper, moving over towards Dora. First alert in Coleman. It is heavy right now, but there is a back edge, and that is going to be moving on through from west to east as we progress through the afternoon hours. And we've been tracking again the rain, kind of a dreary look out there. 59 in Hoover, 61 in Tuscaloosa. Certainly see those raindrops. But again, that back edge will be getting close to Aniana, Birmingham by 2 o'clock. And then we will have to deal with more rain towards the weekend. That future radar in 15 minutes.
All right, Jill, thank you. We'll see you then. Congressional negotiators, they have struck a deal, but just minutes ago, and President Donald Trump is said at first glance not to be very happy with it. But he's happy with where it's going.
That's right. So will the president sign this deal, though, to keep the government up and running? Fox News correspondent Lauren Blanchard has the latest.
We reached an agreement in principle.
Congressional lawmakers announce a breakthrough in border security negotiations. For the White House, nearly $1.4 billion to build roughly 55 new miles of border barrier. For Democrats, a 17% decrease in ICE detention beds, reducing the number from 49,000 currently to just over 40,000.
I don't know the details, but the parameters of this are good. I urge President Trump to sign this agreement.
Details of the tentative deal emerged Monday night, just ahead of the president's campaign rally in El Paso, Texas.
Progress is being made with this committee. Just so you know, we're building the wall anyway.
Whether the president will sign the agreement remains in question, considering the deal offers far less funding than the president's demand for $5.7 billion to build a border wall.
There's not a single one of us is going to get every single thing we want, but nobody does. But we're going to get what is best for the United States.
Also in question, whether the president could sign the deal and declare a national emergency for additional funding.
Until we actually see this language, it's very difficult to say what the president will or won't do because we don't know what's in it at this time.
The current continuing resolution that's funding the government expires this Friday, leaving the president only 3 more days to sign a budget agreement and avoid another partial government shutdown. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
This afternoon, a human trafficking victim is safe in a safe shelter after the victim was found in a prostitution bust. Homewood police went out undercover, answering social media and internet ads to solicit. In total, 7 people were arrested for either prostitution or for promoting prostitution. New this hour, we're learning about a military accident that took the lives of 2 Army recruits in South Carolina 2 years ago. This week will be a court-martial for Staff Sergeant Andrew Morrow.
He pleaded guilty to accidentally killing 2 recruits who were marching in front of his vehicle in 2017. Privates Ethan Schrader and Timothy Ashcraft were pinned beneath the truck. They later died. Well, yesterday, Morrow testified that he was running on 4 hours of sleep while driving behind that group of marchers. He said he fell asleep and he awoke to screams. 6 recruits were injured. A 2018 Army report partly blamed Morrow's superiors for his exhaustion, but he faces a maximum of 7.5 years in confinement and a dishonorable discharge.
A Birmingham police sergeant who was arrested on felony sex crimes has officially been charged. Sergeant Randy Martinez faces 2 charges of sodomy. The Kimberly Police Department says the now adult victim came to them claiming they were abused as a child. Fultondale police also assisted in this investigation.
In Centerpoint, detectives need your help in finding the person who shot and killed a woman in front of her daughter and grandchild. Investigators tell us Veronica Foy was in a car with her adult daughter and 1-year-old grandchild when a man shot into the vehicle. Foy was hit 3 times. Her daughter and granddaughter were not injured. And right now, investigators are not sure if Foy was the intended target.
Chances are that maybe this victim wasn't the intended person who was shot. Maybe the people or the person responsible anticipated somebody else was going to be driving this car.
Well, detectives say they may have a motive in suspects, but they want anyone with more information to please come forward.
Well, our state, Alabama, is among the most friendly states for seniors in the country. Florida topped the list. New York came in second. Alabama came in third, followed by Kentucky and Georgia. Now, this information comes from a survey of over 2,000 people. It includes questions about finance, health, safety, social life, and accessibility. Well, this may sound like the scene, one scene in particular, out of the movie The Hangover, how a tiger was found in a highly unlikely place.
Sure was. Diet trends like keto and vegan, well, they can be overwhelming, and you may not be sure if those diets are right for your body. Well, coming up, we're going to tell you about a weight loss option expertly tailored just for you. You're watching WBRC, Fox 6 News on your side.
Because that tiger was found because the dude was smoking.
Yeah, nobody noticed. How are you?
All right.
We're live at We're live at a vigil for a Tuscaloosa woman. We're live at the vigil for a Tuscaloosa woman who's been missing for 6 months. Okay, sorry. We're live at the vigil for a Tuscaloosa woman who's been missing for 6 months. And Valentine's Day is almost here, but today on The 4, Dr. Josh Claypo explains how you can celebrate your love every day.
All right, if you hit some bumps in your effort to lose weight or your New Year's resolutions, understand there is help for us all, not just for you. This is Dr. Mia Cowan of Mibella Wellness Center, and she joins us now to help people with their health goals. A lot of people have already fallen off the wagon and gotten a little discouraged.
Yes, and people are getting frustrated.
I know it.
And they're trying these trend diets like the keto diet or the celery diet. So what I try to focus on is something that you can do continuously for real behavior change, because we've all lost the weight. Now we want to lose the weight and actually keep it off.
Okay, and you claim you have programs that are specific, tailored specific for people's bodies. Is it just women you mostly focus in on?
I have women and men actually that come to my office. I am a board certified gynecologist, and I have special training in weight loss and hormone therapy. So I was trained to teach my patients behavior modification. I kind of learned it because I gained a lot of weight and I had to lose it, and I realized how hard it was, so I went for extra training. But the focus of it is just knowing what to do and what to do individually for you. Okay. So at my little place, Mibella Wellness Center, we have this wonderful tool that makes it very easy to lose the weight because this is a resting metabolic rate machine. So what happens is I would put this little apparatus and I would breathe into it, and what it tells me is exactly how many calories I need to eat to maintain a healthy weight, but also to lose the weight.
And so then you count calories from
Yes,
there?
it's counting calories. I've tried everything you could possibly try for a diet, but what I found that works for long-term weight loss is knowing your resting metabolic rate, to know how many calories you need, counting calories, and staying within your calorie range.
That's the only way I lost it. I tried some of these programs, and I got 1,700 calories a day or less, and I lost like 30 pounds. So,
and I think the main thing is it's different for everyone. So say there's a lady who's 140 pounds, 5 feet, and another lady who's 140 pounds, 5 feet. Well, if this lady did gymnastics or she was an athlete, she's gonna have more muscle. So her calories are gonna be totally different from the other lady's calories. And the main reason is because we lose weight, we lose muscle as we age, which makes us gain the weight. So,
because muscle, when you build muscle, even at rest, it burns fat.
Exactly, and your metabolism is higher, so you can eat a little bit more. And so by changing your hormones as you age too, so your testosterone starts to go down, you start to lose the muscle, and then you notice the weight gain, and you really notice the abdominal weight gain when your hormones are off balance.
Okay, don't be looking at me when you say that.
No.
Don't look at me. All right. All right, well, how can they get in touch with you to come by to blow in that thing and get on the program?
Yes, you can go to www.mebellawellness.com, and you can actually schedule your appointment online.
Okay, well, that sounds good.
Thank you.
And we're all going to be sporting a good figure come summertime, right?
Yes, yes. Come on by. I'll get you in order.
Right. Okay. Hey, there's a new menu item for McDonald's. What these sticks, see, we don't even need those. Those are like French toast sticks or something, donut sticks. But first, a man looking for a place to discreetly do drugs finds something really scary, and it wasn't a police officer. Hear what it was coming up.
Well, a strange tiger tale from Texas. That's a tongue twister. A man who he was actually looking for a discreet place to go smoke marijuana, and he ended up tipping off police in Houston to quite a wild discovery.
It was a 350-pound tiger, Bengal tiger.
Yes.
Police say it was inside a cage in an abandoned house. Neighbors got to be freaking out also when they see the animal control come remove a tiger from next door. But who knows when the tiger would have been discovered had it not been for the tip from the man looking for a place to smoke a joint. Can't you hear him telling police that?
Something called 311. They were trying to get into this house to smoke marijuana. We questioned them as to whether they were actually under the effects of the drugs or they actually saw a tiger. They saw a tiger in this building, this vacant house that's obviously been abandoned for some time. Somebody's been feeding the tiger. There's several empty packages of meat.
Hey, policeman, there's like a tiger in that house over there, man. That's what it is. Can you imagine it? I'm sure.
Well, animal rescue teams said it made arrangements for the tiger to be transferred to another facility that is licensed to handle and care for exotic pets.
Probably a good call.
Yes, huge good call.
Hey, don't tell these guys, but hump day is actually tomorrow. These are pictures taken in Arizona on Monday. 2 camels just strolling through a Tucson neighborhood. Ooh-de-doo-de-doo. Police corralled the camels, but right now, nobody even knows where they came from.
So that's twice. We have exotic animals just
How
out
about
and
that?
about. Well, McDonald's, and in different news, is adding to its breakfast menu the latest offerings. Are you ready? Donut sticks. Yep,
Oh,
donut
boy.
sticks. It comes in a 6-pack or a 12-pack. Breakfast sales at the Golden Arches have slipped up in recent years due to increased competition from other fast food rivals. Now, the company has not said if it's going to add anything else to the breakfast menu. And unfortunately, guys, the donut sticks, unlike a lot of the other breakfast items, will only be available during normal or regular breakfast hours. So,
okay.
Got to get there early, guys.
Hey, a brunch you'll love, how you might surprise your Valentine with Brenner or breakfast in bed. You're watching WBRC, Fox 6 News on your side.
Hey guys, welcome back. We are in the kitchen, and now you see all this good food in front of us. It smells like just a sugary paradise right now. If you didn't know, reminder, Valentine's Day is just around the corner. Of course, there are a lot of options out there. One option is going to be Metro Diner. And Charity Chancellor with us this afternoon. Talk about some of the stuff they have at the diner and some stuff they have at the diner that you can try at home.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely. So we can talk about a little bit what we have in front of you that you can come into the diner to treat your sweetheart for Valentine's Day. First of all, just to let you know, we do have $2.99 mimosas going on right now. So if you want to get your day started out right, or afternoon or weekend, however, please come and join us. We have some croissant French toast, one of our favorite French toast options. Just really nice, delicate, fluffy with cinnamon flavor. You can top that off with fresh fruit, strawberries, cinnamon butter, maple butter, whatever you'd like to do. So we have lots of options to kind of fancy that up. If you look right to, I guess you're right, the fruity waffle, think about your freshest ingredients and then a funnel cake from the fair. That's what this dish kind of gives you. A lot of flavors going on. Up at the top, we have our cinnamon roll pancakes. You can always upgrade any pancake that we have in-house to a cinnamon roll pancake. So just to kind of tell you about that. Now in the center, which is our strawberry cheesecake stuffed waffle, is our featured dish. That's what we are making for Valentine's Day, or you can make it home for your honey.
And then we have about a minute and a half. I know we have like a lot of, not too much time, but if we want to make it at home.
If you want to make it at home, obviously start out with your own waffle mix, waffle batter. Get it nice golden brown, as you can see in the center. I'm going to talk just a little bit about the compote. The compote is 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, a third a cup of orange juice. You got a half a cup of sugar in here. Grenadine. Grenadine is what makes the color either really red hot or kind of light and pink.
So it depends on what color you want.
Oh yeah, or how much love you have in your house. How about that? So we'll put 2 tablespoons of that in the compote itself to make the color again of the cream cheese, which is the stuffing. That's what turns it on. You'll want this to dissolve completely before you actually add your pie filling. Pie filling is roughly about 2 cans. We also have some water just to dilute it a little bit. But once it is completely dissolved, you'll throw that pie filling in there. That will actually make the compote that you see right over the strawberry cheesecake stuffing waffle. To tell you a little bit about what's inside, we've got our cream cheese, 2 pounds of cream cheese, quartered strawberries, depending how many that you like. But again, fresh ingredients we like to use as in-house. If you use it at home, it tastes so much better. Make sure that they're nice large chunks so that you can bite through them. Again, add the grenadine to it, depending on how sweet you like it or how red you like it. You can just add as much as you like there. So there's no real direction other than your preferred taste.
So we're gonna let this stuff keep cooking, and we'll check back in a couple seconds. But now let's see what Jill has to say with our final check of the weather.
Well, Kelsey, still needing that umbrella for some of you, a couple more hours. Others, you could probably tuck it away for the day. As we show you first alert Doppler, the lapse, we're seeing one batch of heavy rain exit, another batch moving eastward with time. So want to give folks a first alert, just take it easy out there. If your windshield wipers are going, you know the drill. Headlights are on too. First alert up in Bluntsville, Sneed, you're seeing heavy downpours. This is going to be shifting eastward over an area that's under a flood advisory. That does include the city of Gadsden, Hoax Bluff, and Center, along with Cedar Bluff. So remember to avoid any flooded roadways. And then we go back to the west. We have that steady rain, Tuscaloosa, also downtown Birmingham, seeing that rain. And yeah, another little dreary view for us from the Alabama Power Building, where it's 59 degrees. There is sunshine in our forecast. It is not too far away, and it's going to be moving in for tomorrow. So we will track not only sunshine, but slightly cooler air. You can see the air is not terribly cold. Back to our west, mid and upper 50s. That's the kind of air that's going to be with us tomorrow. So we're tracking that back edge by 2 o'clock, moving through Birmingham. So drying out northwest and cooling down. We'll continue to track that rain coming to an end around 4 o'clock. Anniston and Talladega, maybe down towards Clanton. And should be out of here by 5 o'clock most areas, and then you may end of the day with cool temperatures in Hamilton and increasing sunshine, and then we will see clear skies tonight. First alert for some cool temperatures. Need the heat back on with those readings back down into the 30s, as Mickey was saying this morning. So we can keep track of that rain through the First Alert weather app. Tomorrow you just be tracking sunshine and 50s, very close to normal high temperatures, and we have a lovely looking Valentine's Day forecast at Channel chance of rain low. We're actually going for highs in the lower 60s. Models putting us in the upper 50s. So all in all, looking good. Even for dinner right now, we've backed off on that chance for a few showers. Next big thing will be the showers returning. Starting on Friday, we'll need the umbrella again, and especially now on Saturday. I know, we're in time for the weekend. So Friday night into Saturday, here comes more rain, steadiest north of I-20, and wrapping up the showers on Sunday. You may get a little lull in the action. And your first alert 7-day forecast features those temperatures tumbling a little bit small, nothing too extreme. And then we go back upwards again. How about those 60s for highs over the weekend? A better rain chance on Saturday versus Sunday. Next week, looking cooler and wet and unsettled with those temperatures into the 50s for highs. So changes with our temperatures, but it won't be cold enough for us to see any snow yet. But if that changes, of course, we will let you know. For now, we're going to send it over to the kitchen.
All right, guys, and the compote's still cooking, but you can see Charity is stuffing the waffles right now.
Correct.
This is the one right off the iron, being stuffed with that strawberry and cream cheese mixture, and then of course you pour this little compote or drizzle on top. No, drizzle.
Drizzle, pour, whatever you like.
Whatever you want to call it.
If it was Mickey, he would pour it all over. I just know that for sure. So. That's the case.
True to our profession, we do need to research all this.
So we'll have to try everything.
Yeah,
they
just
definitely
to make sure.
should, for sure. Another joiner.
You go.
When we have plenty of food, these are real size portions at the diner, so you're not going to leave our diner hungry. Hopefully, you won't leave your house hungry if you choose to make this.
I've been to the diner many times.
Yeah,
very yummy stuff.
We would love to have you.
Check the website in a little while for this recipe. Otherwise, have a wonderful afternoon. We'll see you later.
Thank you.